Hello all, this is Santosh and welcome to TechDesign. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can make this particular zipper bottle in surface modeling in NX application. So without wasting time, so we can get started with a new file. So I'll just go to new file here and let me create a model file. So this is my model file and the unit should be in millimeter. I'm going to click OK. So this will take you to 3D workbench. So part modeling, all the commands will be over here and surface modeling commands will be over here. So we're going to use this and try to make this model. So first of all, I'll just go to sketch environment on this bottom plane and I'll just click OK. So here I'm going to make a simple circle. So I'll just go to circle and the diameter of this circle will be 40 mm. Okay, so let me fit this and finish the sketch. So this is the first sketch that I have, and then I'm going to create one plane here. So it should be at a distance. So at 45 mm distance, so at 45 mm distance, there will be a plane needed. So this is my plane, and I'll just click OK. Okay, so on this plane, I'm going to create again one more circle. So let me go to this plane again into a sketcher, and here I'm going to draw a circle with a diameter of 55. Okay, so this is my second circle. Now let me finish this again, and now I need to create one more plane with a distance of 45 mm from this. Okay, so from this it should be 45 mm, so I'll just click OK. So this is my second plane. So here again I'm going to make a circle. So I'll just go to sketch element on this plane, and the circle should be now 70 mm. So it should be 70 mm, and you can just click finish. So these are the three circles that I need to create for making a zipper. And now what I'm going to do is I'll just go to sketch environment on this plane. Okay, so now you can see here this is the side view, and now I'm going to draw a circles here, sorry, arcs. So there is a one arc here, and then there is a one more arc from this to this, and there is one more arc from here to here. Okay, and here I'm going to draw one construction line. So this is going to be my construction line, and I will just make it as a construction line, and whatever this circle should be coincide with this point, so I'll just make a coincide. Okay, and this also should be coincide with this point. So how we are going to do that? We are going to give a distance for this. Okay, so this distance is 35. Okay, and this point should lie on this line, particular plane. So press C and go to point on a curve. So this point should be on this. Okay, so now it's exactly matching here. And whatever this curve, it should be tangent to this line. So press C and go to tangency. So these two should be tangent. Okay, and let us give some dimensions here. So whatever this arc we have, so this is of 50 mm. Okay, and whatever we have, this is of 38 mm, and then whatever this circle arc we have, it is 20. Okay, and then in the same way this point should lie on this arc. So press C and point on a curve. So this point should be on this curve. Okay, and here the distance will be, so let me make a distance here from this point to this, it is 20. Okay, so now you can see here, this is the probably we can see here there are two auto dimensions that are there. So whatever this point should lie on this plane, so press C and this point should lie on this plane. Okay, So now you can see here with the one auto dimension. So one auto dimension is left. Maybe the length of this particular center line or construction line may be the, okay, you can see this is the one. So we can just mention it as 20 or whatever the you want, you can just give it. Okay, so now you can see our sketch is fully constrained. So this is the curve we need on the other side as well. So how we are going to do? So go to mirror and select these curves, and my center line will be this. Okay, so we got these two curves on the both sides. So this is what we need in this sketch. So we are going to finish the sketch. Okay, so now we have to make one more sketch. So go to sketch again on this plane. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a point, so intersection point. So go to menu, insert, I think curve from curves and intersection point. Okay, so this intersection point, you can see here the point, this point is intersection between the sketch plane, so this sketch plane and this curve. Okay, so click apply, and in the same way I'm going to do it here. Click apply. Okay, so here I'm going to draw a simple line here. So go to line between, sorry, this point to this point. Okay, so you can see our sketch is fully constrained. So similar line we need it in the other side. So go to mirror and make a mirror of this particular line. Okay, so both side we got this, and we can just finish the sketch. So now we need to do a ThroughCurve mesh. So for ThroughCurve mesh, you can see these are going to be our primary curves, and whatever the side curves we have, this should be section curve or swept curve. So we'll just go to ThroughCurve mesh here. Okay, and these are the primary curves you can see, and here are the cross curves. So these are the cross curve I'm going to give. Okay, so for that what I can do is I'll just select the primary curve. So make sure that this is single curve. Okay, so it is selected. Now you can see here in ThroughCurve mesh, whenever you select a curve, so you can see the direction is along this direction, and in the same direction you should have in the second curve. So I'm going to add one more set here. So this is my primary curve. Okay, and the new set I'm going to give this. Okay, so once you give this, just make sure that both the direction is same. You can see here both the direction is same, so then it is good. So now we are going to give a cross curve. So cross curve always should start from where the point is. So you can see here this point along this direction, so we can able to give it from here. So this is my first point curve, uh, cross curve. So add a new set. So I'm going to add this. Okay, so this is going to be my another cross curve. Okay, and again now what I'm going to do is I'll just add a new set here. I'll give this. Okay, and then again I will add a one more set. I'll give this. Okay, so once it is done, again I'll just give one more curve. That is, this is the final curve. Okay, so this is the curve. So we already developed a surface, but it is not visible because this is something else. So now we can see here the surface is there. Okay, so I'm going to show you, since it is off you cannot able to understand. So I'm going to go to ThroughCurve mesh again. Okay, so make sure that this is single curve, and this time it is shaded with edges. Okay, so my first primary curve will be this, and you can see here the rotation, sorry, the vector, and I'll just add a new set. Either you can hit a new set over here, or else you can press the wheel in your mouse. So I'm going to press the wheel, and then I'm going to select here. Okay, these two direction is same, and my cross curve should start from where the rotation vector is. Okay, so I'm going to give this first, and I'm going to give this as a second curve. Now you can see the surface is built, and I'm hitting the middle button, selecting the third curve. Again I will hit the middle button, and I'll select this curve. Okay, and middle button, so last curve. Okay, so now you can see here, this is the one how we got it. And now here, instead of solid, we need this as a sheet metal, so sorry, surface. So we are going to make it a body type as a sheet. So and then we can just click OK. Okay, so this is the model we have got. So now we need a plane here again, one more plane. So go to plane again. So from this plane, it is 3 mm. Okay, and click OK. So on this plane, I'm going to create again a circle. So go to sketch on this plane. And this time the circle with a radius of 25. It means diameter is 50. Okay, we'll finish the sketch. And then we need a surface between these two. So how we are going to do? Go to surface and through curves. And this time I'm going to select this, hit the middle button and select this. Okay, so we don't want this to be tangent, so I can just keep it as it is. And here I'm going to make it as a sheet, and you can just click OK. Okay, so once it is done, I'm going to extrude this curve now. So go to home and extrude. So I'm going to select this curve, and again it should be sheet, and the length should be 15 mm. Okay, just click OK. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this surface, whatever it is. So for that I'll just go to surface and offset surface. Here I'm going to select this surface, and it should be 1.5 mm inside. Okay, so it should be inside direction, you can see here, and you can just click OK. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sketcher environment. So you can see our model. So in one view it should be in the curve shape, and in the other view it should be in the straight line. So this is how our requirement is. So now we'll go to sketcher environment on this plane where we have a curve shape. Okay, so here I'm going to create some sketches. So for that I'll just go to circle, and I'll draw a circle here. So this circle with a diameter of 35. Okay, and whatever this distance is 23. Okay, and then we have an arc here. So this arc should be from here, it is like this. Okay, so and then there is one more arc here. So this is going to be my second arc, and there is a one more arc from this center line like this. Okay, so and then just give the radius for all these circles. So this is going to be 53. Okay, and this is going to be 9.5, and this is going to be 28. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some dimensions. So press D. From this point to this x-axis it is 70. Okay, I'm going to make a mirror of these curves. So go to mirror and select this curve and this curve. So I'm going to mirror it along this. Okay, and whatever the line here, it should be trimmed. So I'm going to trim this line. Press T and trim it. Okay, so now whatever these two should be tangent, so press C. So between these two there should be a tangent C, and this point I'm going to make it as a symmetric. So go to symmetric, and now this point and this point should be symmetric along this. Okay, so now we can see here we are left with the three auto dimensions. So let us see what are those dimensions. Okay, so here the distance between these two will be 25. Okay, and you can see here it should be tangent, so press C and make them tangency here. Everywhere it will be tangency, so here also let us make it as a tangency. So now you can see our sketch is fully constrained. So now I'm going to make an offset here. So go to offset curve and select these curves. So this should be 2 mm. Okay, so this is my first offset, and second offset should be this. Okay, so now I'll just click OK. So this is the profile we need. So our sketch is fully constrained now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the sketch. Okay, so once it is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this surface. So once I hide this surface, you can see there will be one more surface inside. So I'm going to hide on these two also. And now what I'm going to do is, so for inside surface, I'm going to project this smaller curve. Okay, the inside curve. So inside surface, inside curve. Okay, so let's go to curve and project curve. So here I'm going to select a curve. So how we are going to select? Make it as a static wireframe and select this curve. Make this stop at intersection, and this is the curve. So make sure you are not selecting this inner circle. So this is not required for us. Rest of the thing you are just selecting. Okay. So now if once you select the particular curve, you can just make it as a shade with edges. And here on this object, I wanted to project, and the vector should be along this, and it should be projected on both sides. Okay, you can just click OK. So you can see here it is projected. So once it is projected, we have to trim this inner surface. This is going to be inner surface, whatever the operation we are doing it on the offsetted surface, not on ThroughCurve Mesh. Okay, so now let me go to surface and trim sheet. I'm going to trim this sheet with a boundary from projected curves. Okay, I'm going to discard it. Okay, so inside surface only these surface should be there, so we don't want other any surface. Okay, so we are going to trim all the surface except this. So now I'm going to switch on the ThroughCurve Mesh. So this is going to be my outer surface, and on this outer surface I am going to project this outer curve. So how we are going to do in the same way, go to curve, project curve, and it should be single curve and stop it at intersection. And if the curve is not visible properly, you can just switch this to static wireframe. Okay, and I'm going to select this point, the outer circle, outer curve I'm going to select. Okay, so this I have selected outer curve completely, you can see. Now let me switch this to shaded with edges, and it should be projected on this surface. Okay, and the vector will be along this direction. So now you can see it has been both side projected. You can just click OK. So once this is done, so you notice that inside surface we have left with only these two surfaces, but in outside what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this material and I'll just keep the other. So how we are going to do? So we'll just go to surface, trim sheet, and here I'm going to select this sheet, and my boundary will be projected curves. So these two projected curve, and I'm going to keep it. So you can just click OK. Okay, so now we can see here there are a lot of curves. I'm going to hide all of them. So hit Control W and switch off these sketches and curves. Okay, and datums also. Okay, if we need them again we can switch on. So you can see here, so this surface is from the offsetted surface. You can see this is from offsetted surface and this is from ThroughCurves. So now we need to make sheet between these two. So how we are going to do it? By using a ThroughCurves. So go to ThroughCurves, and here you can select a tangent curves and select this curve. Okay, so you can see here completely it is selected. So add a new set and go to select it again. Okay, so you can see between these two sheet is being generated. So you can just click OK. Either if you want, you can just mirror this on the other side, or else you can just go to do the operation here as well. new set. Okay, so once this is done, I'm going to go to sketch environment on again. So I'll just switch on this plane. So go to home, sorry guys, so go to home and sketch. Okay, on this plane, click OK, and here I'm going to fill this surface by using one curve. So how we are going to do, so go to curve here, and the start point should be here, and my end point will be over here. Okay, so let me switch off this, press D. The dimension for this curve should be 180. Okay, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'll just provide a distance here. So from this point to this plane it is 20 mm. Okay, now let us go to plane view, and whatever this curve is there, it should be, you know, tangent to this axis. So press C, not tangent, so it should be perpendicular. So this should be perpendicular to this. Okay, so and this point also should lie on this axis. So press C again and point on a curve. So this point should be on this. Okay, so that's all we have here. So this point again should be on this x-axis. So press C, point on a curve. So this point should be on this. Okay, so now we can see our sketch is fully constrained. So we don't need this length here. So our sketch is fully constrained. We can just finish the sketch. Okay, so how we are going to do this? You're just going to revolve it. So go to revolve and select this particular curve, and my vector will be along this direction, and my point of rotation will be this point. Okay, so it should be sheet, click OK. So that's all. And then we have you can see here our model is ready, and we can see here the top portion is hidden. So how we are going to get it? Control W and switch on this facet not sheet bodies. Okay, so now we need to create a helix here for threading purpose. So how we are going to do it? So go to curve, insert curve, and here you can see helix. So I'm going to create a helix at this point. Okay, I'm going to select this center point, and I'm going to lift it for 1.5 mm. Okay, and then here I need to provide a diameter of 50 mm. Okay, and then pitch will be 5 mm, and then the end limit will be 10. Okay, so that's all we have here. You can just click OK. So once this is done, what I'm going to do is so I'm going to create a plane here. So let me go to plane and select this point and click OK. So on this plane we are going to create a sketch. Click OK. So here I'm going to draw this particular lines and press C, and it should be horizontal alignment. So this point should be horizontal aligned with this point. Okay, and then I'm going to make vertical alignment between this point to this point. Okay, and whatever this angle we have here, so press D. The angle between these two, this will be 60. Okay, and let me give a dimension here. Between this point to this point it will be 1 mm. Okay, and again the distance from this point to this point will be 1 mm. Okay, and then there will be a distance here. The distance from this point to this point will be 1 mm. Okay, so now you can see our sketch is fully constrained, so you can make a note of all the dimensions. So before going to finish the sketch, I'm going to give a fillet here, press F, so let it keep it as a 0.15. Okay, so we can finish the sketch. So similar way, we have already seen many videos on that. I'm going to swept this, so go to surface and swept command, and here this is going to be my section curves, and this is going to be my guide curve. Okay, here the orientation I'm going to change it from fixed to face normal, so it should be normal to this face, and you can just make it as a sheet and click OK. So in the same way I'm going to fill this, so go to menu, insert, and curve line here. So I'm going to create a line from this point to this point. Similar way I'm going to do it on the other end. So other end is here, so from this point to this point. So now we are going to fill this, so go to menu, insert, surface, and bounded plane. Okay, click apply and select this curve and this curves. So click apply. So now I'm going to sieve this, so go to sieve and select these curves, surfaces, and you can just sieve them. So now we need to make a trim, so for that I'll just go to trim sheet and I'm going to select this, and my boundary curve will be this, and it should be keep, and click apply. Okay, so similar way I'm going to trim this, and my boundary curve will be this, and it should be discarded. Click OK. So you can see here our groove is generated. Whatever the groove we need, that is done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide an edge blends here. So before going to give an edge blend, so this is a different surface and this is different surface, so we are going to sieve that. So go to sieve and select this sieve, and you can select all of them and you can sieve it. Okay, so now let's go to home and edge blend. So here I'm going to select this. Okay, and here also I'm going to select this. So 0.1 is fine, you can just click OK. And now this time I'm going to select this curve, and it should be 0.5. Okay, you can just click OK. So once this is done, we have many more edge blends to provide. So go to edge blend again and give 2 mm for this edges. Okay, all 4 edges, this side 2 edges, and here it is 2 edges. Okay, so it should be 2 mm. I can just click apply. And on the bottom side we have 2.5 mm of edge blend, so go to here, and this side it should be 2.5 mm. Click apply. Okay, and then we have 3 mm of edge blend on this side. Click apply, and there is one more last edge blend here, it is 1.5 mm. Okay, so click apply. So now this is done, so everything is done, our model is ready now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Ctrl W and hide everything, only sheet body should be shown. So once this is done, I'm going to thicken it, so go to thicken and select particular model. Okay, so 1 mm is enough, so you can just click OK. So once this is done, we can hide the particular sheet. You can see here inside there will be a sheet, so Control W and sheet you can just hide. So this is going to be our solid model. Okay, so this you can see here on this view, it should be in the curve manner, and the other view it will be in this straight manner. So this is how we can make this model, guys. So if you have any doubts, please comment in the section below. We will try to answer. Thank you, guys.